Hey, everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode, a brand new show, The Professor and the Samp. You guys all know me as Bobby Sampson, and you all know the Professor, the great Professor Bear. Professor, how you doing, man? And welcome to this brand new show, Professor and the Samp.
I am doing wonderful. I'm so looking forward to us diving in and letting the people know what we plan to accomplish with our brand new show, and hopefully they enjoy it and we can just go into explaining everything to them.
No, absolutely. So, you know what? You and I have been talking back and forth continuously, and ideas are always percolating. Ideas are always brimming around, man. We're like that drip coffee, just thought after thought, idea after idea, just coming out. And finally, something has kind of taken form, and here we are, Professor and the Samp. And if it's okay with you, brother, I'd like to kind of just get the ball rolling on who we are and what we're about and what we're bringing to the table.
That sounds wonderful.
All right, fantastic. So, Professor and the Samp, here it is, guys. We are going to be a show that comes to you every Monday morning. Right now, it's going to be recorded eventually at some point, hopefully, special occasions. Who knows? We're going to try to come live at you guys as well. And just this show is different. It's unique in the sense we're going to give you a recap of the whole week that just passed before we dive into what's coming from Monday onwards once again. We're going to talk about Raw. We're going to talk about SmackDown. We'll talk about Dynamite, a bit of TNA, a bit of New Japan, you name it, whatever's out there, we will talk about it. Also, the other thing we're going to do, we're going to touch on the tops, weeks, headlines, the things that happened in wrestling, stories behind the stages, who got married, who got divorced, who had a baby, who has beef. So all
Definitely.
those things in between, our thoughts, and it's all just opinions. It's not based on anyone's ideas, anyone's articles. We're just going to read the headlines and we're going to tell you what we think of them.
Exactly. And that's the one thing that for me, I think is going to be great that we're both are going to give our opinions of things. And like any good team, we're not always going to agree with each other, but we're just going to be just sitting, talking, and giving, again, our opinions on the situation. You know, like right off the top of my head, the first thing I think about that happened is what TNA has done to their world champion. He lost it already. Uh, He they so quick recap. Everybody know that Mike Santana won the TNA world title. TNA had a 4-week pause where they did not record anything. They did their first recording Thursday night, and that was his first title defense on TNA. He's defended it at a few different indie shows, but that was his first at TNA, and he lost. And it wasn't just that he lost; it was a clean loss. He got pinned 1, 2, 3. It's not like Kazarian cheated because he was their version of Money in the Bank winner. I'm not for sure what the trophy is called, but it was he has it, and former Dolph Ziggler. They're both holders of it, and Kaz cashed it in and pinned him with a roll up. A roll up. Uh, you
Okay,
beat the
so if I
champion
may
with a
interject here
roll
a
up.
little bit, I appreciate that. It was a roll up. I get it. But you know what? The way you're reacting and the way I've seen in some of the messaging groups that we're both in, the reaction that they're getting means that it's working.
Yes, and
And I get it. I get it, and that's what I love about it. Like, okay, it's giving some reverence. Like people are paying attention to TNA. People are like in tune. They want to, hey, what's happening next week? Why did this happen to Santana? And I feel bad for Mike Santana. I feel bad for Mike Santana. I bet he doesn't mind to be like, I hear what you're saying, but what I love about that happening is the fact that we're all talking about it and the
Very
fact
true.
that we're all affected by it, which means great storytelling.
Well, and this is not the first time they've done this with their world champion. I
Right.
I, I brought this up to the group where they did almost the exact same thing to Josh Alexander. He won the title and immediately Moose cashed in and won the title. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
he had to fight. He got the title back and went on to be the longest reigning TNA champion of all time.
Gotcha. But when that happened, and again, I know we're a brand new show and we're just starting, and I don't mean to refute you twice, brother, because I respect you a lot, but I have to refute you here as well. When Josh Alexander lost it and that happened in that same scenario, there weren't as many eyes on the product as they are right now because of the WWE influence, which makes this seem so much bigger. Would you agree or disagree with that?
No, I understand where you what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I think though, and this is just where I'm at with it. TNA, you cannot continue to tease the champ, the
Mhm.
good guy. And like I said, I understand the booking aspect of it.
Sure, sure, sure.
But now this will be a short reign. Now you have somebody in TNA that's the heel that has the title.
Right.
And now, and of course, what all they've done with Santana. Let's be real. I think they went too long before they let the title change hands to Mike Santana.
Okay.
Then they take it right off of them. And I know it's the okay, that babyface chase is generally the best thing in the world.
Hmm.
But I will argue that if you look at what Roman Reigns was able to do,
Right.
they could have a fake, and Santana is hot, super hot. I just I hate to see them cool them off, then give it to them, and then a lot of people won't feel the same. That's my fear.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that completely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he hasn't cooled down. Maybe this makes him a bit harder because now he's chasing again. It seems like the continuous struggles of Mike Santana and the real payoff will come soon. It's just like once again foiled. Um that's one way of looking at that story potentially. Uh on the flip side, let's look at TNA and what they're not doing with Bobby Lashley. We're talking about Santana and how long he's been there, and they're not using him properly. The first thing that came to my mind when you were saying that was Bobby Lashley, because it's an example of a man who should have been in that title picture a long time ago. I believe AEW is in a position right now where they can take some of WWE's viewership away if they start booking properly because of, we already know the low numbers and people not tuning into SmackDown. This is an opportunity to rise and use Bobby Lashley if they're not using him.
I, and I guess I'm different because I've loved what they have done.
Sure,
They
no, yeah.
and I think I like this, and the difference to me is Bobby is there. Bobby is going to be there. AEW has so many great people in the division, and they've been kind of teasing a lot of different people. And because at first I'm a big Samoa Joe fan. Anybody who knows me know I love Samoa Joe.
Hmm.
But when they turned him and gave him another shot at the title, I'm like, why? Why?
Yeah.
But then I got to thinking about it and looking at it at this point. Okay, they're trying to hold off. Why would they hold off? But you want to have something creatively hot for to combat WWE, especially when it gets to the WrestleMania era time.
I appreciate what you're saying, but I look at it from this perspective there, Professor. Right now, you don't have Osprey. Right now, you don't have Kenny Omega really around. Actually, no, Kenny Omega is around, but he just wasn't being used. Right now, you don't have MJF. I don't know where he is. For the biggest names that you kind of have right now aren't there. Where's Swerve? I haven't seen Swerve in a long time, right?
He,
And I'm okay. I'm okay with Hangman defending against Powerhouse Hobbs. That's great. That's an opportunity for the young talent. But right now, and I think most of those guys that I just mentioned beforehand will reemerge during WrestleMania time. So for the time being, this would be a great opportunity. You don't even have Edge around or Christian, and
yeah.
it feels like it's a highly heel dominated show right now. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, and then see, and then again with the Hurt Syndicate, they're so different because they came in at first as heels.
Yeah,
Now they're tweeners.
yeah,
Best case scenario, they're tweeners.
yeah.
And like I said, I can see them with money matches with Bobby and Hangman.
Hmm.
But I again, I just think, okay, it's like at a period, let's hold off. And one thing I will say, AEW has a big track record of holding off big matches, and when they do, usually something happens. Somebody gets injured, um, or something where they can't give the big match, so they have to pivot. So, I like a lot of people. I give AEW a little grace. It's like, okay. Plus, they've been so entertaining to me. Like, uh, I know a lot of people don't watch Collision, but I do because they have so many good talent and stuff. Like one of the matches on Collision was Scorpio Sky taking on Kyle Fletcher. Beautiful match, great work. Um, I never thought Scorpio was going to beat him because of the pay per view, but it was a great match. And I like the slow build sometimes if it's done correctly. Because someone who's watching this was like, well, Professor, you just got through complaining about Mike Santana and TNA and their build. It's different though for me because they hadn't heated up Bobby. If they had, then I'd be irritated too. Bobby is just being Bob. He's just there. They putting him in little matches, the tag, the 6 man. Cool. He's only had, I think, three individual singles matches, and everybody wants it, but it's that okay? It's gonna happen, but when?
So we talk about entertaining. Let's talk about blood and guts.
Mm.
And do you want to talk women or do you want to talk men first?
Uh, Honestly, I feel like we should go with the women first.
Okay,
Cause
here, can I start?
yeah, go ahead.
Watching that match. Watching that match was like watching a movie in the 80s on network TV when you see that booby for like a split second. Do you know what I'm talking about, Bear?
Of
Only
course.
people of our time and our generation can understand the beauty of that.
Yes.
Canada, it was called the French Channel because in Canada, so just everybody knows, you're based in Tennessee,
Yes.
And I'm based in Vancouver, ladies and gentlemen. So something that we want to share with you is the professor and I, we've been friends now for close to a year now, sir.
Yeah, getting there.
Absolutely. And I believe that friendship is growing into a brotherhood,
Oh, yes, of course,
and
definitely.
it's a beautiful thing. But we've never broken bread together face to face. So one of the goals of this program, ladies and gentlemen, is to somehow, somewheres, nobody knows, but Samp and the professor will connect at some point, and we want you to be a part of that journey. So that's a part of the show here. That's something else we're going to throw in there. Now,
It's,
I
it's
got
going to
so
be like
excited I
the
forgot what
Mega
I was talking
Powers
about.
doing that first shake. That's what it's going to be like.
There you go, man. And we've already discussed it. We've already discussed it. It's already been decided upon. Professor, I completely forgot what I was talking about before I got
We were talking about the women's
right.
blood
Okay.
and guts
So
match.
in Canada, yes, because I was saying you're from Tennessee. I'm based in Vancouver, British Columbia, which is on the West Coast. So here we go, man. This is the beauty of what we're doing here. Who would have
Yeah.
ever thought a guy from Vancouver and a man from Tennessee would find each other? Wow, right? Fuck Harry.
It-
Fuck when Harry met Sally, man, is when Professor met Sam. All right, so in Canada, we had the French channel, and every Saturday night, for whatever reason, the last movie of the night always had one scene where all of us would, as young schoolboys, would turn the volume down, looking both ways, and just hoping for that one moment. So Monday morning, we could all talk about it before class. That's what that match was like for me. The blood and guts match for the women. Women showing color is like a woman showing booby in the 80s. Do you know what? And that's what I found intriguing, that these girls work so hard. It was an amazing match. I really enjoyed it. Now, the fact that the two girls, Tekla and Hart, Julia Hart,
yes.
crawled through the ring. I just love that. It was a good match. It was a good match. I won't say it was a great match. I think there were a lot of flubs. I'll be completely honest, and I'll get to that in a second. But that was my initial thoughts on the match. You go, Bear.
My initial thoughts were they put on a great first attempt at women doing the blood and guts. Um, oh man, when oh my goodness, Sky Blue got
Yeah,
busted open.
yeah,
I I immediately thought of Dusty Rhodes, Abdullah the Butcher, just man, like color when Eddie Guerrero,
yeah,
Bradshaw,
yeah.
and he got busted open. Oh my goodness.
Well, you had Marina Shafir who was fighting barefoot. Now, I know her backstory. I know what gang she used to roll with and where she came from. But I gotta tell you, I think she's tougher than Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler.
She
That
the
woman is something else, man. Stepping on the glass and grinding it into her own foot. Come on, man.
that's what got me because what was immediately I remember when I can't remember who she was in the match. I think it was Willow,
Yeah,
and she had her, and they had put tacks down, and she dropped her foot on the tack,
yeah.
and she lost it. And but then, like you said, she grinded her feet. Of course, she always puts tape on her feet,
I get that. I get that.
and but just still, bro,
No, but dude, it's
I
just
was
it's
like,
just
oh
savagery.
my God.
Like honestly, I felt that the women's match had a bit more brutal, just a bit more savagery to it, in my opinion. Okay, and I'm gonna explain why, and this will completely make sense when I give you my initial synopsis of the men's match, right? But this match just everything, just a way to end it. Like you have a bunch of very attractive women, very fit women doing very barbaric things in this match. which is rarely seen in female wrestling, to be fair. So that is part of it, right? The other part was it's just like the way they ended the match, just savagery, right? Like that was just brutality, 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 man. I thought it was fantastic. And you know what? I didn't have a problem. If that match almost went an hour,
Yes.
but it didn't feel like it. That's the thing. Now, I don't know if it's because it was the first match of the night. I don't know if that played a role in it, but I thought the match itself was great.
The feel the everything felt natural. Nothing was rushed. And like you said, the ending was great for the fact of you can see they had a game plan. It was a beautiful game plan. They executed it well, and it gave now it gives Tony Storm something to do away from the title, and she can be vicious, and it could take Tony to a different level, and it will help raise a lot of the women's profile. So I agree with you. I was super happy with the match. I never once felt like it was boring.
Even main event.
Um, the Now for me, the MVP of the match, Willow Nightingale. I
Oh,
love
Iron
Willow.
Lady.
I love her. She
Mm,
is great. But what makes her super special to me is even with all of the viciousness, because that she can be vicious. She has a smile on her face. No
yeah.
matter what happens, she keeps a smile on her face. And
Well,
I love that. That's
what about
almost a
Sky? You almost have to say Sky's got to be up there with her
oh yeah.
for everything
But it's
that Willow did. Sky lost that much in blood.
oh woo.
Now, here's my question to you: do you think Monet did enough? Did she contribute enough to that match?
I think she did and generally I wouldn't say she did, but I think she did because of her targeting the champ and knowing they are going into a match in a week and a half. I think she did enough. She didn't have, and they didn't have to do too much. But I loved how they did the table spot that took her out. Um, like I said, it was just little things here and there that I thought, hmm, okay. And it came to a big like boy, they man, like Bobby the Brain Heenan was managing them. You do this, you do this, and everything just like I said, I thought it just came. It was a one beautiful, solid picture, and on top of that, war games. They're gonna have to come with it. They are gonna have to come with it.
I want you to hold that thought because I had something in mind after we talk about the men's one. But please hold
Oh,
on to that thought, brother.
yeah.
This is what's beautiful about the professor, ladies and gentlemen. The man's three, four steps ahead. He is a wrestling snooker player. Always got the fifth shot in mind, even though he's on the first shot. All right.
you,
So
you
here,
got to. You got to.
here's my take on the men's.
All right.
Okay. Now, it wasn't late in the evening for me, but maybe in the East Coast, it was a little bit later for you guys. I thought, in no disrespect to anyone in that match, up until that point, I thought that match was like watching molasses, watching Heinz ketchup come out of a brand new bottle. And I'm not going to go as far as to say watching paint dry because I don't think it was that much, but definitely molasses or ketchup until Moxley came into the match. Would you agree or disagree?
I would say I agree for this for this reason. Because generally I would have really just roasted it. But I understood once Moxley got in and the fire, everything started clicking. I understood what the problem was. The men, the good guys got the advantage. Anytime you have a war games or blood and guts, whatever you want to call it, you have matches like that, you cannot have your face have the advantage. It's so hard to come out of that. And I gave them credit because they did a very unique and smart way of taking the advantage away. And that's why it feels like it didn't kick into gear until Moxley was in. They took Briscoe out.
But
So,
that by default makes the women's match so much better.
right. Well, and
Okay.
again, it's because they, like I said, when you do these type of matches, you got to have the heels have the advantage
Yeah.
because you want the baby face to come back.
Yeah.
So it's rare that they ever do let the faces do it. And once they won, which surprised me, I was like, that's bad news. But again, they finally came out of it. And like you said, yeah, it was one of those this ain't bad, but it ain't good.
Now now overall, would you say both were good matches? I think so. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Now I'm not overly critique. I don't like to be negative about stuff. I'm really, really positive, but we're critiquing, correct?
Correct.
So I'm gonna call this a critique of things that I wish were better.
Okay.
Okay, because there's just things that kind of stared out and glared at me a bit more, and I don't know if that's just because of how long we've been consuming it and how we look at it from other people. I think one thing that they need to learn to do better going forward is to be better organized. Now there was a scene there where Julia and Sky Blue were looking for something in one of the turnbuckles. That was a fumble, in my opinion. You got to know where you hide your plunder. Okay. There was a
Correct.
couple moments in that match, both in the men's and the women's match, where everything kind of stopped and they were kind of looking around, waiting to see where that next spot was supposed to be.
Right.
Thirdly, Tony Khan, and I've talked about this on the main event roundtable. I've talked about this on Samp and Chance, and you've talked about it with you. They need to do a better job with their production and where their direction is coming from with their cameras. That's
Uh,
it. Just their cutaways, the way they do their cutaways and things like that. I know I'm really, really using a fine pointed brush here, but those are the things that I saw that I wish could be better. The biggest thing, be organized, people. That's what going into the ring before everyone comes in is all about. Knowing where you place everything. And that's my only things that I will say about the show that about those matches. And to your point, what you were saying earlier, do you think it's an advantage for WWE now to have
no,
their version of War Games already see so what they know what to do? Or
I I don't think it's going to be an advantage. I think it's going to make them. They're going to have to do some major things. I've been
they're at
critical
a
of them.
disadvantage.
Hmm,
I think they're at a disadvantage.
yeah, because WWE has been their matches have been by the book same way in the war games,
Mm-hmm.
and especially the women's one. And it's like, okay, A, she's gonna come in and do this. B, she's gonna do, and it's like, oh man, it's the same thing. Oh well, EO's gonna jump off the top in a garbage can. Yay.
EO has been in every single women's War Game match. You know that?
I didn't realize that.
She has been in every single one.
Uh, they definitely need to. They're definitely going to have to step it up. And
I think they're
go.
at a disadvantage.
What? Why is that? Go ahead, tell me that.
They can't have color.
Well,
Without the color, I think that's the biggest thing here. Without the color, especially after what the girls did, so I think the girls can put a better match on than the girls from AEW can. I do truly believe that. The talents in that ring and the choreography, whatever you want to call it, the timing, all of it is better with those girls up north, in my opinion. The disadvantage they're at is the color.
and I give you another one.
Mm,
You don't have a you don't have a top on it. That irks the hell out of me, especially considering I saw the original War Games.
sure.
I grew up on War Game matches.
Yes,
I
sir.
know what Dusty Rhodes had intended with the War Games.
Hmm.
And to not have a top on the War Games, and then you this is their excuse. Well, if they go over there and be fired, that come on. I mean, let's be,
Isn't that just a giant hell in the cell?
but
It is,
the
right?
yeah, it is, but at least be more to the original idea. I get it. Like
I get it. I
I
get it. I
and
get
then
it.
I tell you one, like MLW,
Hmm.
they do war games.
Okay.
They did one, I think, matter of fact, was it this year or last year? I can't remember. And they had one ring.
Right.
It was hard. It was hard for me watching that.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
And it's like I get certain you
It's
want to change and put your own spin to it, but jumping off the top of the cage into
it's the purest
that's
in
a
you, man.
cage match.
It's the purest in you. That's what it is. It's the purest, man. Um, I did have another problem with the men's match, and one thing in particular, Kyle O'Reilly. Now, Kyle, for those who don't know, he's a Canadian. And the other thing with Kyle is that he grew up in the same town that I grew up in. Now, I don't know Kyle. I know Kyle kind of because he did a lot of work in our indie scene, in our local indie scene in Vancouver. He was a part of ECCW. And I got to know him a little bit over there. Even though we're from the same town, blah, blah, blah. It was through the independent wrestling scene that I got to know him a little bit. And this is right before he got called up to Ring of Honor and got
Okay,
his opportunity with them before he got into NXT, right?
right.
So my concern with that match, and this is where I kind of question medical and what they do behind the stage. Kyle's type 1 diabetic,
Mm,
and the amount of blood he lost in that match, that concerned me. Now, to the unbeknowing person, they wouldn't have realized it.
right.
But I'm only bringing it up because I know it to be a fact. The reason he's been out of action for so long, a lot of those things that have happened to him are either direct causes or byproducts of the diabetes. And type ones is something you can't really mess around with. So I that concerned me a little bit. Like, are the medical practices being properly taken care of?
I definitely think they are. I don't think they would put a person in danger if they felt like it would be dangerous to them.
Yeah, no, I hope not, but I'm only just bringing it up for the fact it probably looked worse than it actually was. Like, how much of that blood was mixed with sweat?
Right,
You got to take
exactly.
all that into account as well, right? So I'm fair to look at both sides of the story. Whenever I think about something, I'll say one thing, but then like the other Samp on the other shoulder will tell me something else.
No,
So it's like I'm always rebuttaling myself just to make sure I got the right idea in my head of what I want to believe.
right.
But overall, like, look, we got War Games coming up. We just had this happen here. Um, what else, man? What else do you think happened stands out to you for this week? I thought SmackDown
Um,
wasn't that bad this week.
I was gonna
Finally,
say I hadn't seen it yet, but I heard about the return of Zack Ryder.
okay. Let me ask you this really quickly here. Okay, we the return of Woo 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 Zack Ryder, which is what I find interesting here now. In the Juggalos, he's what's his
Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona, correct?
Correct.
When he goes to New Japan, Matt Cardona. When he goes to AEW, Matt Cardona, correct?
Correct.
When he goes to TNA, what's his name?
Matt Cardona.
When he shows up on NXT,
Matt Cardona.
how can he show up on NXT as Matt Cardona, but then show up on SmackDown as Zach?
I and I and once I heard about it, and I was wondering how he came out. It makes total sense because they're just trying to have a moment.
I get
And
that,
for
but it just
fans,
kind of
yeah, I get it. Because for fans, most fans, the casual fans know him as Zack Ryder.
I get that, and I know completely, but I just thought it was kind of funny. It's kind of like Wesley showed up on TNA, but as Devon, whatever Evans or whatever he's calling himself now. It's like, come
Right.
on, man, you just left the company 2 weeks ago.
Well, and see, that goes back to owning your name.
And same with Lash Legends' old partner.
Yeah.
He's in
That
TNA now.
well, it goes back to owning your name.
Yeah,
That's why Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, certain
John Cena.
yeah, certain people get the rights to their name,
Yeah,
and WWE will not won't force them to change it because they know it's popular or whatever. And then some people like these are that's why you're Tegan Knox. She's not Tegan Knox
yeah,
because WWE owns the name.
right. Hey, let's talk about her very quickly.
Ah,
I'm only bringing her up because here's a girl who really needs to be working hard on getting opportunity, and it feels like she's squandering everything. Is that fair?
yes.
She's not in the
For
position to
me,
do a Sasha and Naomi. She's not.
especially for me, for as much as I love the indie scene, I'm a big component of indie wrestling. You don't have a lot of opportunities, so you got to make the most of them. And I don't know if okay, I don't know if you the fans have heard the story of how she and her real life girlfriend were in AEW. They did a cameo, then they wrestled, they lost, got squashed. Then apparently there was a problem in the next show. They lost on Dynamite, then they came to Collision. Then they found out they were going to lose to another tag team that's in the women's tag team tournament. They found that they were going to lose in a 3 minute squash.
Right.
They were not happy about it. They thought it made no sense and didn't want to do it. Now, depending on who you believe in the story, they got mad and left, or apparently Tony Khan told them he understood, and if they didn't want to stay, that was fine, and they left. They are not under AEW contract. So, depending on what story you believe, and the caveat for me is Tegan was talking about how she was having a hard time getting bookings.
Right.
So a friend of hers that was in AEW put in a good word for them to come in and work. Now, my two issues: one, whether you agree with what they said, do or not, you have an opportunity. You just do your job. Second of all, if you are already crying or complaining or just saying any way y'all want to take it, because I don't know the young lady, I didn't see the video. I'm just saying, when you have an opportunity and you say you having a hard time booking, the ideal that you are hard to work with is not going to help you get bookings.
He's fast becoming the Catherine Hegel of the wrestling world.
It's amazing, and and I heard some different people come out and made comments, but the best comment I heard was from oh, what's her name, Johnny Nitro's wife,
Valkyria.
Yes, she came out
He's
and
also from Vancouver.
yes, she said she's been a curtain jerker, she's been a main event, she's been a talent, basically the job person. She's been all over wrestling. But
Mm,
the one thing that it is, it's a job.
right.
Do your job and make the best impression you can. And on top of that, let's talk about AEW and all the different wrestlers they have. Do you know how much precious TV time is? Even if you're going to lose in a 3-minute match, you are getting on TV. Shut up and do your job. That's how I feel about it.
Professor, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You're probably more connected to the indie scenes than I am up here. You are perhaps situated around more hotbeds of independent wrestling, where independent wrestling takes on a bigger meaning and a bigger feeling in those communities,
Yes.
opposed to where I am. Independent wrestling exists here, but you would have to go to Calgary, Alberta, home of the Hearts. You'd have to go to Montreal, home of the Vachons, or you'd have to go to Toronto, Ontario, where you would maybe get those same kind of feelings to independent wrestling. Vancouver's is an anomaly in a weird way because are you familiar with Game of Thrones?
Yes.
So I always look at Canada like this, okay? We're separated into 10 provinces. British Columbia, then you got the Rocky Mountains, then you got the rest of Canada. So I always say that BC is like protected by that wall or that you know what I mean? Like in Game of
Right.
Thrones. It's
Yes.
us and then everyone else. In Vancouver, it's very different. Our winters are more milder. So I'm giving a little history lesson to all our friends at Southside. We do not all live in igloos. And where I live is very mild for the most part. We're right on the Pacific Ocean. On any given day, you could play golf, go ski, and take the boat out if you wanted to in the same day. Right? So that's what British Columbia is, and that's what the wrestling scene is here. It's very casual,
Right.
right? So my question to you is based on how she's acting and based on how talent acts childish, in my opinion. And I explain why I say that because they're getting the opportunities that I wish I could have had.
Right.
So coming from independence, working your ass off to get to that level only to become childish. What do you think that is? Is that because they stop loving what they're doing, or is it because they're just becoming irritated with the process of it all?
Hmm, that's a good question.
And I ask you
Because
because you're better inclined, you have a bit more interaction with these, like I'm not saying that the talent here doesn't want to go to the show,
right.
but I almost get a feeling that the opportunities are better for those in those areas.
I think I would say it like this. For her, I think she believes she's a little bigger than what she truly is. And I think that she may want m- more attention as being a star than what her background truly is.
Hmm.
Reason I say that, and again, I don't know her, and I'm not trying to speak ill of her because these are all our opinions.
Absolutely.
But I feel like the women that that took their place, it helped their reputation, that gave them more chances. Like they wrestled tonight, lost, but it's going to give them opportunities, and like you have to have some kind of trust in this business, and you have to show that you're dedicated and you're willing to work for your spot. You can't come in feeling like you're owed anything. I I think she's not Hulk Hogan. She's not um Macho Man. She's not a big name so much where she can demand something and make it happen. Again, I don't know what's going through her mind, and she did say that she's gonna end up retiring within a year or two, and maybe she's just tired of everything that she has to do. Because sometimes you will hit that wall
Hmm.
of, man, I've did this, I played by the rules. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm going out the way I want to go out, not the way you telling me to do. My character means more to me than your money, your opportunities. Because there's a lot of indie wrestlers that's never had the opportunity to go to the big show, and they're more than okay with it because they did things their way. With her, I just don't understand it. And again, a lot of things too, rumors and people guessing about what's going on is it could it's crazy. Let me give you this: the Mike Santana issue. He lost the title. The next day, they had their pay-per-view. He didn't show up for a scheduled meet and greet. Apparently, they couldn't reach him by phone, by text message, nothing. He wouldn't come. Apparently, the taping they did last night or the night, I can't remember.
Right.
He didn't show up to the show until very last minute. Now, for me, I'm like, okay, that's clearly an angle.
It's got to be a shoot. It's got to be a work.
Right. It's like, come on now. He's not going to show up and then he's just going to show up all of a sudden. Y'all just going to let him run in. Nah,
No, look, if it was a shoot, they wouldn't even say any of what they said.
exactly.
Right.
And on top of that, they would have, there's certain things you know that would work. because no way, I don't care who's the booker. If you didn't show up when you're supposed to and you think you can just walk in, go do your job, no, they are not letting you on the camera. They're gonna have some conversations with you. So, but my point of bringing that up is
Yeah, yeah.
it, this whole thing could be a work,
Sure.
but what are they getting out of working us with these two? Because again, they're not contract to AEW.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's gonna hurt their reputation if she was having a hard time getting bookings before. You know damn well they're gonna have book like, oh, you do that up there? Nah,
Well, I
we're good.
mean, if we are saying what you're saying, and if I'm understanding you about the character, protecting the character, then she also needs to understand that the character is just that, a character. It's you who actually has to make the work happen to let the character come out. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, it just bothers me when things like that kind of happen because no one's bigger than the business. You should know that already. Everyone should know that who's in wrestling. If I know that from this side of the canvas, from this side of the railing, those that are inside that ring should know that as well. At any
Well,
level.
and you're totally right. But there are some people that get so caught up,
Bret
so
Hart. Oh, sorry.
that's exactly who I was going to mention. Brett, again, there are
Brett,
some things.
Ric Flair to a certain extent. Yeah,
Yeah,
to a large extent. Brett, Ric Flair are the top two guys in the business that live their character. Bret Hart's bitterness is because of that character.
man. And again, I get it. I get it so much more than a lot of people because my issue with with man that will not be named, I get it. This is all work and characters, and it shouldn't be to a point where it's costing you sleep. It shouldn't be a point where you're so bitter you can't go to any show without mentioning that guy's name and talk about how wrong you've been done and this and some things you got to let go. You got
Voldemort?
to.
Is that who you're talking about?
Who?
Mitch Mushmu or something like
Oh
that?
yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. Yes, I've heard
But
of this guy. I've heard about him.
even with that, I don't let it bother me to the point where I can't sleep. My life doesn't go on. It it's just it's a sore spot with me, but it's not ruining my life. It's not like me and my wife sits together and then it's like, baby, did I tell you he did this today or this? No, it's like it is what it is. I I said what I said. Move on.
There
And
you
that's
go.
the
There you
thing,
go.
especially with Brett. He's had so much loss in his life. He has a beautiful wife. He got beautiful grandkids. He has so much love and respect in this business. Man, let it go. Let it go.
If he hasn't let it go now, he's not going to let it go, and that's just the way it is. That's the Bret Hart that we have to live with now. I've accepted it, and you know what? I mean, man, it's hard for me to criticize him because he was one half of that duo that I saw that fateful Saturday afternoon when I was 7 years old on Stampede Wrestling that made me watch and never stop watching and now talking about wrestling. So it pains me to say anything bad about him. It really does, right? Like I'll critique a bad match. I'll call a match the way a match should be called. If it's great, it's great. If it's a dud, it's a dud. That's just the
Right.
business. I get it. But talking ill about Bret Hart hurts me but he's given me nothing left. I can't defend the man anymore. I can't. I spent years defending everything he said. I try to find something, but now I can't. He's got to stop, man. I've run out of stuff to say.
Let me tell you a quick funny story.
Please do.
I find funny now. I was at a convention and I'm in line to meet Dusty Rhodes. I'm so excited, super excited. I'm in line. I finally get up to meet Dusty Rhodes.
Wow.
How about Dusty turned his back on me?
Oh.
I apparently, and I say apparently, my face I must have made a really bad look on my face.
Right.
His manager was standing there and he saw my look. He bumped Dusty to tell him, hey, you got a fan. And Dusty turned back around and he said hi to me, shook my hand.
Nice.
But oh,
I
was heartbroken.
I get it.
It went for about a year. I was heartbroken.
Was it intentional though, Bear? Was it intentional?
It was and it wasn't. Because again, he turned around because when I walked up to him, I was like,
you guys
hey,
make eye contact? So you reached out. He heard you say something.
Yes. And then he just turned. And I'm like, and then he started having a conversation with somebody else. So I was heartbroken for about a year. I just like, don't mention Dusty. I don't want. Who cares about it? He ain't an American dream. And then finally one day I was like, Dusty, it was a mistake. You didn't do it for. I love you. Again, even with that, I understand you still the American dream. You still the American dream, baby. You made me reach my hands out when I was a little boy, baby. And that's the American dream I love.
There you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the professor. I am the Samp. So this is it. Let's end here. I think we got a great amount of stuff going on here. We got we got Survivor Series coming up in a couple of weeks. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, on Monday, we're going to break down Raw a little bit. We're going to give you a little bit of SmackDown. You get the gist of what we're going to do here. How do you like it, Professor?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. And I love the fact of the back and forth. And plus, guys, please leave comments.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, because I love reading them and just love the interaction.
So here's the thing. He loves reading them. So that's beautiful because I'm not a comic guy. I'm going to be completely honest. I am probably one of those few guys in this realm who doesn't read comments, who doesn't go on X and read what everyone else has to say about something. Because myself personally, I just don't like to be influenced anything by my own thoughts. And so, yeah, man. But let us know. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what we can do better. And the beauty of this is, as we go along, things will, we're going to make this better and better as we go. I can't wait for a 100 to hit.
I know. It's going to happen faster than we realize.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. All right. You know what? I think it's time. We got Mama T and the Marks to sing us out one more time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Samp. He's Professor Bear. Professor and the Samp coming at you every Monday. Thank you, and God bless.
They're Professor and the Samp, yes, Professor and the Samp. One's a historian, the other loves to chat. They talk about the fights, all the slams and lights. It's wrestling mayhem day and night. They're Professor and the Samp, yes, Professor and the Samp. Their takes are quite insane, the wrestling world's their game. They break it down, they call it out.